and welcome to Tiger Art. Today we will be continuing our look at the Forger app for the iPad. This powerful digital sculpting application allows us to start with a sphere of what we call mesh. And mesh just means that it's like a bunch of lines going in two directions. And it's like a grid. So we're taking different sculpting tools and we're either pulling or we're pushing or we're cutting or we're adding. Think of it like a virtual ball of clay. And this powerful tool allows you to sculpt any form you can think of right inside your iPad. That form can then be exported out of the iPad to a program that runs like 3D printing or virtual reality walkthroughs. Or you can make an augmented reality application out of this. Or you can make an animated movie or a video game. All of those different applications are going to use the type of models that we will be exported. So today we're going to walk through the export process and a bit more of the sculpting. So once we have a pretty good idea of what we're doing, as I said before, we want to be focusing in on making some kind of sea creature. If you can get one today that looks good, that you're happy with, that you really want to use for this project, by all means, that should be the one you export. If you're still working through this, you'll want to refer back to this video maybe next time and export what you make that time. So we're still working in Forger. We have one more lesson to go after this, but really at this point, you could very well be making things that you submit and export for the final project. I hope you have a lot of fun with this. Let's get started. All right, so we're going to be looking at some features of the Forger app, mostly how to export and how to get your models out. So I'll run through a quick review. Start by opening the app and starting with a basic template of a sphere. Pinch your fingers together to zoom out a bit. Let's change our material just so that we can see it good. Let's turn wireframe on too. So materials plus, we're going to go lit sphere, go with the toy plastic, which is the white one. Hit apply to selection. And now we can see everything really good. I see that I got a bump there, so I'm going to undo some things. There we go. Sometimes if you accidentally touch it, it sculpts something that you don't really want it to. So basic features here. The pull tool is good to use right off the bat. When using this, you want to pull a little bit at a time, not a lot. And you want to do it kind of in sections like that, where you're pulling a little bit more. You never want to change direction while you're pulling this. So like if I want it to go out and then down, I pull it out first and then down, as opposed to this, because going out and down you end up with some weird stuff. Okay. Some other things you may want to know how to do. How to put eyes on. This is easy by just turning the strength up and the size down on your standard brush. Making the eyes a bit more exaggerated. I'm going to turn the strength down. I think that's too much. So then using the plus minus button, turning the size down a smidge, you can go around this and make a very defined line around it. So we're pretty good so far. If I want to add anything else, like things coming off of it, so creatures that live in the sea, especially if they're imaginary, you could imagine they have all kinds of stuff, like catfish kind of have these things. If you got something that looks like that, get rid of it. So this is like kind of like catfish whiskers or whatever those things are, but it's like everywhere on the fins and the mouth area. I'm getting some strange mesh, so of course these things are getting stretched out big time. I don't like that. I'm going to go to remesh at a much higher resolution. You can't go all the way up at once. I would remesh at like 100, see what it does. Remesh at like 190. Better. Actually, not better. Those things look worse. I'm going to do that in reverse order. I'm going to remesh first. Okay, now I got it looking good. So now that I have that, then I'm going to do the pull. I'm going to make all these little things. I can always go back and remesh again later. But this is looking like a pretty awesome sea creature. Nothing that I've ever seen before, but you know, that's what we want. Those are the most creative things. Make something imaginary. It's kind of part stingray, part catfish, part, I don't even know. It's got other stuff too. That looks weird. I'm gonna remesh and see what my options are. You can always undo this. The tail looks better. I just want to make sure it didn't mess these all up. They're kind of messed up, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. If it allows me to have a better looking tail on my fish. So it's kind of like a stingray, but I'm going to add some other stuff so that it's not just too much like a stingray. Like what if it had a shark's fin up here? You know, sharks have those curved and pointy fins. Let's flatten this a bit. Let's do some more pull. Whoop, too big. Remesh, looks bad. Oh, that's better. It's not pointy like I want it to be. Now it's pointier, but it's also kind of rough. So what do? Use the smooth tool. Smooth it out. That works good. Okay. So now the thing doesn't even have a mouth though. So I'm going to use standard brush, plus minus button to make this go in. Standard brush to make it come out. And then before I add anything else in there, I gotta remesh that. That thing is way stretched out. See how I ended up with some strange things here? That's the issue with remeshing too many times. So I probably did it too many times here. And there's not really a great way to undo that, but hopefully those things come out okay. Because it is looking a bit mangled, like pretty much exactly what I told you not to do. So smoothing it out seems to help though. So if you use the smooth tool lightly over this stuff, it is okay. Once again, if anything starts to look odd like that, if the mesh gets folded over on itself, that's not good. You can always redo it, like re-pull those little pieces. I did want some things coming up though, so I'm gonna go in here and do that. Oops. It's not really letting me. I need to come at it from a different angle. Uh-oh. I think I'm freezing out here. Oh, it might be the Apple Pencil battery. Yep. Okay, that's fine. Not getting what I want there. It's because there's not enough mesh. Don't go this high. This is too high. Okay, so now that's my sea creature. You don't need to worry about coloring this because the color isn't going to matter. So you need to export. You are not going to submit a screenshot today. I repeat that. You are not going to submit a screenshot today. So pay attention to this. You will be doing something different. You are going to hit the export button, which is up at the top of your screen, or a square and an arrow coming out of it. Hit that. Then we go to 3D model. We're going to export this as a 3D model. You're going to export it as an OBJ right there. You will type in your first name. This is very important, the way that you do this. If you don't type in your name correctly, you will not get your model saved. It has to be your first name followed by your last name. You can do a space in between, that's fine. Followed by SEA for C space, and then tell me what color you want me to make this. Like, do you want it to be white? Do you want it to be pink? It's going to be all one color. I can't make it change colors the way that we're going to build this program. So if you want it to be purple or pink or green or blue, just put that. I'm going to put black. And then just hit enter and hit export. And it's going to say, where do you want to export? You want to export this to Google Drive. So select Drive. And then you got to select your name. And it's not letting me upload right now. It's grayed out. That's because I haven't told it where to go. I'm going to hit select folder and then shared drives. Now, if you don't see your class in here, drag down and let go to refresh. You're going to find your class. It's going to say like 3rd grade, whatever your class name is, and then 2020. So let's pretend that I'm somebody in 4th grade. So screenshot at some point during the upload process. You can do it while you're typing in your name. You can do it while you're picking the drive. You can do it while it's going. Here's what I would do. I would hit save here. Then you hit upload. Screenshot it like that. You are not sending me a screenshot of this. Send me a screenshot of your sculpture in Drive. If you missed it and you screenshotted too late, go to Drive, go to shared drives, pull down and let go to refresh if you need to. Go into the drive that you just did and just screenshot there. so that I can see that you put it where it should go. All right, we'll still have another day of this afterwards, so if you get something cool today, put it in there. If not, no worries, you can always do it again. But I'll tell you how to handle that next time. So no matter what, put something in Google Drive today so I can make sure that you know. We can always erase it later.